Hello everyone, today I am in Washington State, about to do the Wonderland Trail. It's about a 90-mile trail and it makes a ring around Mount Rainier in Mount Rainier National Park. And I'm kind of laughing to myself already because it's already been a little bit of an adventure. I was a little overzealous and, backtrack a little bit. First time I heard of the Wonderland Trail, I was hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2017, the year of ice and fire. There was a fire closure on the PCT that bordered Mount Rainier National Park, and we were all in Packwood, and some people were trying to get around the fire closure by using parts of the Wonderland Trail, which didn't work out because the Wonderland Trail, as we'll find out, has permit issues. But that's the first time I heard about the Wonderland Trail. So now that I finally got my permits for Wonderland Trail, I decided to try and redo some of those sections of the PCT that were closed by fire. Problem is, you can walk to the trailhead I'm doing, which is the White River Trailhead, from the PCT. It's a bit of a walk, but you can do it. I wanted to try to get a ride in, so I got a ride from Chinook Pass. I could only get it for last night. So I got a ride in, I got my permit from the ranger station, but the first come first serve campground right at the trailhead, full. So I had to stealth camp outside the park, and I'm going to spend the first part of my day walking back into the park on roads that are not meant to be walked. So I am off to my trailhead for day one of the Wonderland Trail. So I'm starting out walking the beautifully tree-lined Highway 410 to the White River entrance to Mount Rainier National Park. As you can see, I mean, here it has a little bit, but this is not necessarily a road that's meant to be walked, and cars do come by. Not frequently, but very, very fast. So I don't have too much of this highway to walk to get to the entrance station, so at least that's good. So one of the reasons I'm doing it early in the morning is I'm kind of hoping everybody's asleep and not driving this highway. Also, I highly recommend driving here and not doing what I'm doing. This is a loop, so this is a perfect trail to drive to. So just drive here, park, do your loop, and then you can come out. If you are coming from the PCT, arrange your ride for the day you actually get on trail, which I originally wanted to do, but I wasn't able to find someone who could take me, so walking. And here's my turn to the White River and Sunrise sections of Mount Rainier National Park. We just look for cars. Should be slower cars, but I've already seen several come in and pull into this turnoff right here already as I've been walking. This is the quieter part of Mount Rainier National Park. The Longmire area is busier, and this is a very busy national park just in general. It's really close to the Seattle-Tacoma urban sprawl, plus it's a highly visited national park just in general, which is what makes these permits so difficult. I actually entered a permit lottery to have advanced access to reservations to try and make a loop, because each backcountry site has its own individual reservation spot. And last year I did not get the lottery. This year I got the lottery halfway through. Had to make a very interesting itinerary. Here's somebody pulling in. Anyway, so I'll explain more as I go. I should also add that hitchhiking is illegal in the U.S. national parks. There's some parks that kind of ignore that, simply because the backcountry rangers, I've seen them hitch from trailhead to trailhead. But this is not one of them. This is one where you hear stories of rangers being very upset if people are trying to hitchhike. So if somebody stops and offers me a ride, definitely take it, but I don't think I can stick my thumb out in this park. There's a beautiful sunrise right past this fee station that is closed, so I'm walking through. Saves me from the awkward conversation of showing my interagency pass by walking up to a car lane. But right past it, this building right here is the ranger station, and that's where the permits are issued. So I was able to get my permit last night, or yesterday evening, and so I don't have to adhere to the station hours, which is good, because past here it's still like, there's a car coming, there's still like 5 more miles to my trailhead. So I think in all total, like I'll probably be hiking 6.5 to 7 miles to get to my trailhead, and my first campsite is 10 miles away. So all part of the adventure, I guess. I think I'm gonna stop here anyway and eat breakfast, because there should be some nice benches right here. And after 5 pretty dangerous roadwalk miles, I'm approaching the ranger station. They're all uphill too. Ranger station for the White River Campground. Could have definitely used more of these people crossing signs. Again, I suggest driving or getting a ride the day of your permit. I don't want to be doing this again. Here it's fine, but throughout most of this road, there are these deep vegetated ditches that started right off the pavement, and it's windy, and I'd say like maybe 10% of the cars were going the speed limit or under. So I do need to stop at this ranger station, because in the back is my food cache. You're allowed to mail food to a couple locations here. I've got mine mailed here and at Longmire. They do have to be in plastic buckets instead of boxes, but hey, as long as you can get food here. I only have 1 granola bar and a couple of electrolyte packets left in my food bag, so fingers crossed that my food is actually here. Alright, behind the ranger station are these bear boxes, and luckily that one with the yellow tape, that one's mine. Obviously bears are smarter than me. I could get this one open, I could get the far one open, I couldn't get the center one open, so luckily my bucket's here, and this one that I could open. Okay, next stop, I've got to make use of the flush toilets and running water. There's a water fill station right here. I really need to backwash my filter because it's a little clogged right now. So, and just make sure I have enough water for the next segment. I don't think it'll be a problem, because I mean, there's water all over this place. And these bathrooms are technically right on the trail, so this is where I'm going to start. Officially, day 1 of the Wonderland Trail, going from White River Campground to Mystic Backcountry Camp. Alright, that sign says Wonderland Trail and sunrise this way. Okay, so I have to laugh. I just saw past a sign that said bees in the area, and then Wonderland Trail Camp, and caution, active beehive, right where the trail camp is for Wonderland Trail hikers. I did ask yesterday if there was any space available in those sites, not knowing about the bees, but the ranger said that's only for people going through. My last day is supposed to be there. I might see if I can arrange for someone to pick me up instead of staying overnight there then. But that's for future me to worry about. Mystic Camp should be, I love this. There's water already, flowing water. Oh, it's amazing. Mystic Camp is about 12 miles away. I originally thought it was like 10. It's still not a big deal. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Should get there no problem. Technically with my road walk, it'll be like a 20-mile day. But again, you've got to have reservations for every backcountry campsite, and the ones that are closer to the more developed areas, like around Longmire, get super booked up, not just with Wonderland Trail hikers, but people just spending a night in the backcountry. So in order to get a campsite around there, I have to do a series of like 5 or 6 mile days, and I think there's even like a 2.5 mile day in there. So the front end and the back end of this hike, which should be about 9 days, are the bigger days, and I have some very, very casual days in the middle. Oh, nothing like starting your trail with a steep uphill climb. It's only 2 miles. Ooh, there are parts that are steep. Alright, so the climb is starting to flatten out. And oh boy, was that a climb. I kind of peeked ahead. That actually does kind of look like one of the steepest climbs on, like continuous climbs on the route, or at least that might just be me thinking it. But I also have been getting these really nice views off to my left because I'm going counterclockwise. About the turn of Mount Rainier. Look at that. You can see all the detail on the glaciers. So I am going counterclockwise. So this mountain should always be on my left. If it's not, I'm pretty lost. Let me scoot forward a little bit. Probably see a little bit more down into the valley. Oh, a little further back, I actually got good view of the White River, which is the river that runs through this valley. I came from like all the way down there. What a way to start your hike with that gigantic climb. And just as a quick aside, one of the reasons it's so popular and hard to get permits, you can kind of see them around here a little bit, is because it is wildflower season. And I don't really know the Pacific Northwest wildflowers, but I did download some guides from the Park Service, and there were 2 purple flowers that were hard to tell apart, but I think they're like right next to each other. So there is this guy. Please focus on the flower. And then there is this guy. So there are daisies and there are asters. And there's butterflies everywhere, by the way. I think these are the daisies. The daisies have way more petals than the aster, which should have definitely less petals. I'm pretty sure these are aster right here. But you can kind of see the actual plant looks different as well. So that might have been fortuitous if the 2 that were hard to tell apart are like right next to each other. All right. There's a whole bunch of jumping on points for the Wonderland Trail, and this is one of them. Oh, that climb was hard. Sunrise, the little village, I guess, is this way, and it is another jumping on point for this trail. It's the same entrance I used for White River. It's just further uphill. So I chose to do that hill on the trail instead of the road. Oh, more views. Gosh, that's so pretty. So tons of places to jump on and off of this trail. So around here I'm going to have a lot more day hikers. And when you get your permit, you can just choose trailhead you want to do. So again, I chose White River. So it was one of the closest to the trail I was coming off of, the Pacific Crest Trail. A little bit further on trail now. It's got these nice signs here, especially at the junctions, clearly labeled which way Wonderland goes. I've still got 7.8 miles to, I'm assuming my campground, but it's just beautiful meadows all around here. And then a real surprise, considering I've got a backpack on, there's a parking lot right here. It is still very day hiker friendly over here. It's been relatively flat, and then it's easily accessible for people. I did pass Sunrise Camp, a backcountry camp. Again, it's a beautiful area, but with the amount of day hikers here, all I can say is there was a line. All the camps have bathrooms, and there was a line for the Sunrise Camp bathroom, and it was all day hikers. So that campsite bathroom might be a little overrun. Dipping through some tundra area. I'm going to be going through this kind of in a bowl like shape, and then I'm going to be going over Skyscraper Pass. This trail is pretty busy. It's nice and wide and well maintained, at least in this part, but I've been seeing so many day hikers and backpackers. Yeah, it's a really busy trail. The mountain is right here to my left where it should be. And I think I still have plenty of time during the day to get to my camp. I was a little worried because I was going a little slow on some of those uphills because they are pretty steep, but I think it'll be fine. Man, look at this gorgeous, a little bit windy though, sight. There's a trail that comes all the way from down there to up there. Doesn't look a lot of fun, but wow, that is beautiful. That big green meadow leading down. I'm still headed for Skyscraper Pass. Cresting over Skyscraper Pass. That's pretty nice. With the exception, and there's the mountain on the left. With the exception of the last 2 miles of the day. I'm just gonna pan this way because there's more gorgeous stuff here than just that particular mountain. But with the exception of the last 2 miles, I've pretty much got downhill the rest of the day today. First up is going to be Granite Creek, which does have another backcountry site, and it's also where I'm going to need to get some water. And here it is, approaching beautiful, clear Granite Creek. The campsites were just before this. I did use their their quote-unquote facilities. Look at how clear the water is. Oh, I love this. And this one, instead of having an outhouse, had what I call a nature toilet. Basically a box that has like no protection around it. It's just a box. But I'll give it this. It did have a real toilet seat, which was nice. And there's a whole bunch of these log crossings. They're actually pretty nice. But I'm going to stop and grab some water. Oh my God. So I've been watching this coming down from the trail for a while. Way back up there. All this silty water. And I knew there was a river crossing where you had to follow cairns. I thought this was it, and I got super intimidated coming down. This is not the river crossing. This, believe it or not, is called Winthrop Creek. Supposedly this is a creek, and the creek does have a bridge. It is one of these carved out log bridges, but it does have a handrail. So I'm going to turn this off because the rushy water is going to mess with my balance. But, whoo! Wiping my forehead that I didn't have to rock hop this. Creek. This water belongs to a creek. You wide zoom. That's impressive, but it's also a little crazy. Okay, first major problem that happened on the first day. See this behind me? There is no sleeping pad. It came off somewhere. I can't just drop my pack because bears. So I hope I don't have to backtrack too far to find it. That's a problem. That's something I need. I know I had it at the Granite Creek camp, which is like a little over 2 miles back, but it's all uphill. So, hopefully I find this. Yes, yes, yes! Oh, I thought I was gonna have to go all the way back to Granite Creek camp. Did go pretty far back. The Winthrop Creek is way down there, but if I had to go all the way back up to camp, then I'm not sure if I would have gotten to my camp, which I have to go to during daylight. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, back on track now. This is the West Fork. Let me check that. Yeah, West Fork of the White River. This is where people were saying you have to follow the cairns, but like the trail's right over there. I don't know what people are talking about. I also know this is a fork, but it's kind of funny that this is a river and that other one was a creek. So good news is it should be I was breathing hard trying to recover that mat. Good news is it's less than a mile to Mystic Camp. But I am very tired. Less than a mile though. I am tired. That was a big day. I'm gonna try to, maybe I'll get a little closer. I'm gonna try to keep my voice down because it seems like most people are pretty tucked in for the night here. I think I was the last one to arrive, and I'm in campsite 5, and honestly it's kind of nice, especially for last pickings here. There might be a couple not so healthy looking trees, which is why it was probably skipped by a lot of people, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So it was only like 12.3 miles of trail today, but I did do those 7 miles of road walk to get to my trailhead, and then that mile and a half of backtracking uphill. Oh gosh, that hurts so bad. I'm gonna be so appreciative and thankful for that sleeping mat tonight, and the fact that it wasn't further away. So tomorrow is another pretty big day. I think my total mileage is like 16.3 tomorrow. After that, I've just got a series of just really light days. But I'm going to South Mowich River Campground, something like that. There's a Mowich that's like a car campground, and then there's a Mowich that's a backcountry site. That's the one I'm headed to. And I'm babbling, so I'm just gonna shut up, eat my dinner, and set up my tent. See you tomorrow.